Alright, Shalom. Want to give all praise to Al Shaddai Yahweh, or call Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is priest Shemaiah one, you know what I'm saying? And this is the first lesson under my new name, or the rebirth of my name, which my name is Simeon, which is Shemaiah one in the Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, and the modern is Shimshon. If you want to call me Yazar, you can call me Yazar. I have no problem with that. I just feel it's not genuine, to Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're back with the great among Israelite woman, and we're dealing with the story of Abigail. Because this is a great Israelite woman that, of course, I'm gonna go through the history of our women and the value and the recognition that they deserve, because there's no one else doing it. There needs to be more brothers, speaking about this. But let's get it. This is 1 Samuel 25, and like I said, this is the story of Abigail, or Avigailav, in the Hebrew, modern Hebrew. It's a lot. I gotta figure out what it is in the Paleo. But with that, let's start. 1 Samuel 25 and 1. And Samuel died, and all of the Israelites were gathered together and lamented him and buried him in the house at Ramah. And David arose, or Dawada arose, and went down in the wilderness of Parah. And there was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel. And the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep, 8,000 goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel. And the name of the man was Nabal. And the name of his wife was Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding and a beautiful countenance. But the man was scrupulous and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb. Okay. So we also have to understand, with dealing with the names of the certain people, of all of our names has to do with our characteristics and our situation that we go through. So dealing with Nobel, or Nabal, his name means it means foolish or senseless. That's what the word Nobel means. So it fits him because he's a very wicked man. He's very foolish. And you're about to see why. And then Abigail, I believe, means, what does Abigail mean? What does Abigail? I'll figure it out and put it in the conversation. I'm not going to guess, you know what I'm saying? But, a woman of good understanding. What's the understanding? Knowing her the Torah and knowing her order. A beautiful countenance, a beautiful woman. And he was wicked and evil in all his doings. And he's of the house of Caleb. Now, some say Caleb's an Edomite, which we can get into that in a later lesson down the road. I'm not going to touch on that. And David heard in the wilderness that Nobel did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men. And David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel and go to Nobel, or Nabal, and greet him in my name. And thus saith, and ye shall say to him that liveth in prosperity, peace be to both. Peace be both to thee, and peace be to the house, and peace be to all thou hast. And now I have heard that thou hast surest. Now that shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them all while they were in Carmel. Ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thy eyes, for we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thy house unto thy servants and thy son David. And when the young men came, they spake to Nabal, according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased. And And Nabal answered David's servants and said, "Who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master." So you can see he's kind of arrogant. Like, who is David? And who is this? Who is Jesse? I know he knows this guy is the king of Israel at the point in time, and so he's dealing with a head honcho. And that's why his name is foolish, because what you're about to see is David's about to do something to him. Then I shall then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I've killed for my shears and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be. So David's young men turned away, went again, and came and told all those sayings. And David said unto this man, "Gird up ye on every man his sword." And they girded up on every man his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And they went after David, about 400 men and 200 about by the stuff. So what does this mean when you gird up? Basically, when you gird up, it means you're going to tie up your garment and put basically a knot in it, and you're about to go to war. So you're about to kill him. But you're about to see what Abigail does, and this is why, this is centered around the recognition of a woman, because through history, our history, they do have a significant role, and we're about to see it. Verse 14, but one of them young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, "Behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed anything as long as we conversate with them when we were in the fields. And there was a wall unto us both night and day, and all while we were sleeping were with them keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider thou what do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Baal, a man that cannot speak to him. So he's foolish and senseless that someone can't even speak to him. They come in peace, he ain't accepting it. So he's senseless, he's being foolish. That's why his name is Nabal or Nobel, whatever you want to, I can't pronounce Nabal, Nobel, one or two. And then, so he can't, he's called a son of Baal, or a man that cannot speak to him. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 500 sheep ready dressed, and 5 measures of corn and hundreds of clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. And she said unto her servants, Go on before me, before I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal or Nobel. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the way of convert of the hill. Behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David said, Surely in vain have I kept all that fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing has missed all that pertaineth unto him. And ye have acquitted me evil for good. So, and more to God, to Yahweh, unto the enemies of David, if I leave all that pertaineth to him by morning light, anything that pisseth against the wall. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lined off the ass, and fell before David on her face, and bowed herself unto the ground, and fell at his feet, and said, Upon me, my lord, upon me let this iniquity be. And thy handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thy audience, and hear the words of thy handmaid. Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Baal, even Nobel, for as his name is, so is he. You see? Nobel is his name, for as his name, so is he. That's always the pattern. You are what your name is, and that's why I decided to change my name to Shemaiah, or back to my original name, of who I am, and more of my real name is, because it's already Hebrew. It makes sense for who I am. So if you already have a biblical name, you should keep it. That's why I changed the name of the channel. Went back to who I am. And folly is with him, but thine handmaid saw not the young man of my Lord, whom thou didst send. Now therefore, my Lord, as Yahweh liveth, and as thy soul liveth, saying, Yahweh hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself from thy hand. Let now the enemies seek evil unto my Lord be as Nabal. And now this blessing which thou handmaid have brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thy handmaid, for Yahweh will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fighteth the battles of Yahweh, and evil have not been found in thee all thy days. So look at this, man. She's basically literally sacrificing her life, and for protection for her wicked husband. And that's honorable. That's wisdom right there. Definitely honorable, and something to recognize in the history. What else to say? And gave him the possessions, some possessions. And you see all the possessions that she took with him, and she didn't tell her husband about it. These are one of the things you can kind of get away with, because your life is on the line. Because they were about to slaughter that whole house. Yet a man risen to pursue thee, and to seek my soul, with the Lord thy power, with Yahweh thy power, and the soul of thy enemies, and thou shalt fling out of the midst of thee. And it shall come to pass, when Yahweh hath done to my Lord according to all thy good he hath spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel, that this will be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord, either that hath shed blood causelessly, my Lord hath avenged himself. And when Yahweh have dealt well with my Lord, then remember thy handmaid. So she understands that Yahweh is about to do something with Nabal. With Nabal, and she basically says, don't forget me, basically, for this act. And we're going to see later in the chapter what happens. And David said to Abigail, blessed be Yahweh of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. Blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou which have kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and presented myself with my hand. See, I told you I'm going to kill. For in very deed, as Yahweh Elohim of Israel liveth, which hath kept me back from hurting thee, except thou hast hastened and come to meet me, surely they have not left unto Nabal by the morning light, and he that pisseth against the wall. So David received of her hand that which he had brought him, and so he take the possession that she brought, and said unto her, go up in peace to thy house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice, and I accepted thy person. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, and he was drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing less or more until the morning light. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became a stone. And it came to pass, about 10 days after, Yahweh smote Nabal, that he died. And when David heard that Nabal died, he said, Blessed be Yahweh, that hath pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal. He hath kept his servant from evil, for Yahweh hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and commuted with Abigail to take him to wife. And when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take him to wife. And she arose and bowed herself, her face to the earth, and she said, Behold, let thy handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of thy servants of my Lord. And Abigail hasted and rose upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers, and went after her. And she went after the messengers of David, and became his wife. I mean, there's a couple of things to take from there. You can see the integrity, the humility, everything about it. That's a virtuous woman right there. And that man was wicked as hell. Nabal. And David was about to kill him, kill the whole house. But through her humility and dealing on how to deal, with David, that saved her life. And Yahweh judged Nabal, because he's senseless and foolish, just like his name. So it fits the character. I'll put what Abigail means in the thing. I forgot what it meant, but I hope people got edified with that. Shalom.